I was just gonna say this proves that government employees were lazy back then, just as they are now.
Oh, dude, I mean, think about any job that you've ever had and all the people you've worked with. And it's just like that in almost every government agency or any place that they're taking records.
Yeah.
So that's something that, like, genealogists always try to tell people when they're looking up stuff, because they'll find a record and be like, well, it says this, so this must be true. And it's like, not exactly. They may have been lying. They may have actually, like, some of the census records, if your family wasn't home, they'll go to the neighbors and be like, who lives next door?
Huh, those bastards.
So, like, you may be 35, and they're like, well, how old is he? I think he's 32. And then, someone finds that record and they're like, oh, well, then he must have been 32. It's like, well, no, you got to give it a little leeway, understand what was going on there.
It's got to be a nightmare to really just try to iron it all out. And, like, if you're, like, looking at a specific person in one of these records and you have conflicting things like that,
Yeah.
it's got to be a nightmare trying to put that together.
Let me get a timeout real quick. Just timeout.
Yeah.
What, you on your third beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me one. I've only got one down.
Well, ask. You lazy fuck.
I'm like sitting over here like, Jesus, you're going to drink the whole 12-pack before I'm...
Hey, you're learning about your family. I'm learning about Bud Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we want somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, let's go to the next
You want a
slide.
beer, Jordan?
Okay, so in doing the research, the thing we want to do is we want to trace it back further. So we want to find more records for Thomas. So here we have the marriage for, here he's just listed as Theodore. And then we know that it's him because Leela Respass, and we know from other documentation that his wife's name was Respass. So you see I, Theodore Phelps, having applied to me for a license for the marriage of himself, of Plymouth, North Carolina, so he's in Plymouth, 18 years old, color white, the son of Lindsay Phelps and Maggie Phelps. So that's your second great-grandparents, Lindsay Phelps and Maggie Phelps. Then you keep following it. The father now living, the mother now living, so they were alive. Residents of Plymouth, North Carolina, and Leela Respass of Princeton, North Carolina, I think that says.
Pinetown.
Pinetown, okay, yeah. Age 19 years, so your great-grandmother was older than your great-grandfather. Color white, daughter of Langley Respis, and I forgot exactly what the name is. I think it was Dinah or Diney or something was her name. But you go on, the father was dead, so those are your other second great grandparents. So at that point, your great grandmother's father was dead. Her mother was alive. So now we've gone back a whole nother generation.
That was in December 30th of 1927.
That's correct. December 30th, 1927. So that was 90 years ago. Just a little under 90 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, they kind of, like back then, that shit just shows how fucking crazy the government was. They didn't care. They just wrote. They didn't even use whiteout or anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they really had whiteout then. But
Back in 1927.
okay, so now that we've got those names, here's actually the death certificate, and this one's really hard to read.
Yeah.
But if you look down number 2, like there's that big thick line, number 2, name of deceased, Lindsay Herbert Phelps. So this is the death certificate of your second great grandfather. Date of death, you can see that it has July. I think that says 51. It's kind of hard for me to read from here.
July, yeah. 51.
So, and then you can look color, sex male, color white, married, and then date of birth, February 18th, 1877.
That's pretty cool.
So 73. And then we look down and we've got father's name, Kirby Phelps.
Kirby.
And mother's
Where's that
name,
at?
Betty Hopkins. So these are your third great grandparents.
So Kirby.
Phelps.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Kirby Phelps.
I see a link. I see. Hold on.
So-
Did Nintendo write about my family? Kirby? Is that? Man, I got Game of Thrones. I got Nintendo.
Your family is what everything in American pop culture is based off of, apparently.
Oh yeah. Actually, you can't really even see that, so you're good.
Well, actually, you can look up any social security number of anyone who's deceased online. You can find them all. There's like 10 sites for social security numbers of people.
Really?
Yeah,
Doesn't
and it's
seem like
actually
it'd be legal.
the social security index is a very popular index that people use to find the death dates of people. Because you can look up the social security index. Like I found the social security index of your grandfather who died in 2007.
Okay.
So
you wanna, the one thing you have to look at, I guess the one thing I'm paying attention to right now is the fact of this, you know, the age when you die, you know, because you kind of wonder, you know, it's through genetics how long you live. I mean,
yeah,
you know, and
well, one thing that's interesting, if you look right at the bottom, now this isn't the whole document. I kind of cropped it because it's hard to fit all of the proper stuff to be able to read on there.
yeah,
But I left that one part, medical certification, disease or condition directly leading to death.
so what was it? What does that say?
I actually, I didn't have enough time to try to figure that out, but I thought I would leave that on there. So if anyone listening knew what that said or had an idea,
Looks like it says grocery.
but
Went to a
it's,
grocery store.
Oh, maybe that's why I hate going to the grocery store,
Man,
man.
killed him, man.
Yeah, grocery
Yeah.
receptions,
Yeah, I have no idea.
whatever that means.
yeah, I'm not sure what it says.
It looks
but
like maybe the second word is like restaurant, wreck, Bricoin, wreck Bricoin.
yeah.
That's how he died.
So.
I don't know. That's interesting.